2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire is 39 days away, and so much news coming out of the camp of the 24 teams that will be participating in the tournament. And something interesting is happening with the Egyptian FA. Those and more will form the core of our discussion on Sport Africa today. Welcome. My name is Ashalolu Afemi. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Of course, it is the beginning of another working week. And the year 2023 is gradually coasting home now. James Agberebi joins me, and today, of course, we will be taking you through interesting, powerful footballing stories on the continent. James,
thank you, Femi. I'm happy to be on today's edition.
You must certainly be happy because the Gunners are on top of the Premier League today, but that is not what we'll be focusing on the show today. Let's quickly take you through, of course, what we do on the show. If you are just watching our program for the first time, of course, we'll be taking you through the continental roundup, then the talking point where we talk about, of course, the major points of focus on the show. Then start in diaspora. Today we'll be going to Nigeria, talking about a player in the Super Eagles, and we'll be taking you through the review of our big match over the weekend. Of course, remember, we took you together, and it was a game between Edana Stars and Heart of Oak. Of course, it seems the Heart and the Oak has left now. So we'll be taking you through all of those on the show today. Let's quickly go on this break. When we return, we'll be going straight to Continental Roundup. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Sport Africa. Please, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel, because from today, of course, we have unofficially beginning our countdown to the biggest football fiesta on the continent of Africa. Like I said, probably in February 2024, we might be having a new champion, or if the Teranga Lions of Senegal will be extending their reign as the best team on the continent. Let's take you through Continental Roundup now. Of course, usually friendlies are meant to prepare national team for international competition or to help the players stay in shape. But with the Egyptian, the FA has turned down friendlies from a number of key countries: Senegal, Cameroon, Nigeria, Sweden, South Korea, etc. And we'll be telling you why the FA decided to turn down that offer in the talking pan. Of course, today we'll be going to Cameroon, where we have not heard the last regarding, of course, Andre Onana's participation for Cameroon in the 2023 Africa Cup. And of course, the whole world knows what that young man is going through at Manchester United, and that might likely affect his participation for the Indomitable Lions, because Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag has disclosed that there is a discussion ongoing with the Fecafoot about possibly Onana missing the competition. I told you that you need to subscribe to this channel, because these are things that you wouldn't hear in the mainstream media. If you're Cameroonian in the diaspora, if you're Egyptian in the diaspora, we'll be taking you through all the news coming from the camp of your team as we come down to the kickoff of 2023 AFCON in Cote d'Ivoire. Let's go on this break. We'll see you on the flip side, and when we return, we'll be going straight to the talking points. Please stay with us. All right, it's still Sport Africa. And James, I'm sure you must have heard about the Egyptian FA turning down friendly approaches from Nigeria, Cameroon. Okay, it is understandable that, okay, these are the major foes that they will likely meet at the AFCON. But Sweden, South Korea, it is kind of cynical, so to say, because some are saying, okay, if you aren't even going to play countries on the continent, how about countries that are not on the continent of Africa? And the excuse or the reason being given by the China FA is that they are considering injuries to their players before the tournament, and they are also considering playing teams that are ranked by FIFA far lower to Egypt. James, what do you make of this?
Well, I think at least they've came out to give reasons why they don't want those high-profile friendly games. I mean, the AFCON is not too far away, and at least you don't want to lose your key players playing against top sides. I mean, if they play against these big teams, it's not going to be kind of light game. It's going to be kind of a bit physical, you know. So I think that was one of the reasons why they said, because of injuries, and you cannot fault them for that. But you want all your key players to be fit.
But James, if that is their reason, I think the key teams also have so much to lose because they also want to protect their own key players as well.
Yeah, well, like I said, they've explained the reasons. Not if they didn't. They don't want to play these. These are high-profile, friendly games, but they have their reasons why. So it is better for them to play teams who they feel will not give them too much. Because you're playing. If you play against the team like Nigeria, Cameroon, and you know how physical that game would be like, and by the time you start picking up injuries, you are putting your own team at a disadvantage, So that's why when the competition gets used, I mean, they have to be cautious of the kind of friendly games to play. Fine, you play friendly game, but not this high-profile one. They play friendly game that will help you look out for your strategies, check out players, and not that you just go all out and start picking up injuries. Like I said, nobody wants to lose their key players now, and it would be unthinkable to go for high-profile friendly games when you know that your players will be at risk. So for me, I don't see anything wrong. Why it's what they want. You cannot force them to say, okay, play this, or it's what they want for the national, and they feel this is the best way to go about it. So I don't see the big deal about the whole thing. So that's just
okay. Of course, the Pharaohs of Egypt and the same group with Ghana, with Cape Verde, and of course with Mozambique. And I saw very funny comments online regarding that. I saw some from Ghana are saying that if it were the GFA, that the GFA authorities will have jumped on it, because of the dough that will be coming out. Because if at least if South Korea, they are a big side in Asia. If they come to you to say they want to play friendly, of course, and they will be footing all the bill, they are saying that they know that the football authorities in their country wouldn't want to miss that opportunity. But James, let's talk about Andre Onana. Of course, we know what that gentleman is going through. He's committed a number of high-profile blunders for Manchester United, with the latest being in the Champions League last week against Galatasaray. But the news coming in from England today is that Erik ten Hag has revealed that there is a discussion with the Fecafoot about the possibility of allowing Onana to stay back with Manchester United during the AFCON. And if the Fecafoot will be doing that, they will have to grant Manchester United special permission to do that. And in addition to that, the player himself, the new goalkeeper from Turkey, will likely take his place because that young man has been itching for an opportunity so national team assignment to his club career.
I think at this point, I think Onana should just come out and tell us what he really wants to do when the Nations Cup comes around. Do you want to partake in it? Because even he has not really come out to say anything concerning this AFCON. You're just hearing reports here and there. So for me, I think just like what the player from I think Congo that came out to say it's not what is his name? The guy in Everton.
Everton, yeah.
Forgotten this midfield. The Corey. He came out to say he's not going. So that one has been set. So I think until Onana comes out to say to take his stand, I think all this will just be mere speculations. So and it's not even helping his cause because we're just hearing different things here and there, and the guy is going through a lot. This moment you are world class, the next moment you are amateur, committing blunders here and there. So now the AFCON issue now is up, whether he's going to partake in it. Look, the thing is, even if he should decide to partake in the AFCON, even the number 2, I don't think the guy will just come in and just become
impressed all of a sudden.
Impressive, because the team is not even doing well and it's affecting everybody. Even the players who are even trying to play well, the negative atmosphere in the team is affecting even those who are trying to do their best. So what assurance that if this guy should replace Onana, that's if Onana attends the AFCON, the guy is going to do well. The pressure alone playing for Manchester United might get to this guy. He has never tasted, I don't think he has even tasted any action for United. That's been Onana all through. And if you now come in, I mean, one blunder can just, destroy everything so it's not a guaranteed stuff for him that if Onana should go to the AFCON, he will come in and just fit in easily. The coach is under pressure, the players They're under pressure. There's criticism everywhere. So I
would
mean,
you blame the? So hold on, James. Sorry to for cutting in. Let's read what Eric said. He said when they call him, he has to go, but we are in talks, meaning that there are quotes to back up what we're actually talking about. Now, in this instance, of course, the picture that you just painted about the situation Onana is going through at United, would you blame him if he eventually says he wouldn't be playing for Cameroon at the AFCON because he wants to focus on the club career because of what the club is going through? Because he will feel morally bankrupt at this moment if he just abandons United in this very situation that, let's be fair, is part of the players who have put United in this very precarious situation that they are in because he's committed, like I said, a number of blunders.
Yeah.
Now, one, would you think it would be morally right for him to leave United at this time for AFCON? Then two, would you expect him to come out and now just declare that, okay, I won't be playing for AFCON because, like Ten Hag said, there are discussions. So perhaps Onana wants to wait until, maybe Feka Food and United reach maybe a consensus or an agreement about his participation.
Well, Femi, the whole thing is so complicated right now because even if he decides to say he wants to stay back, and Cameroon to have the right to say they want him, which thank God Ten Hag knows about it. So, like I said in our previous edition, I think it's about compromise. Both parties come together and say, okay, this is what it is. How do we solve this?
Who do you think should compromise at this time? Who do you think should compromise at this time?
Onana has a big say in the whole issue because the one in the center of attraction. So he's the one who can solve this mystery because like I said, everything is so complicated now. It's getting heat here.
Maybe United can maybe offer some financial compensation to the Feka. I don't know if that will suffice for the Feka.
No.
Because
I think that was overboard.
Okay, because I'm just suggesting because
no, I don't buy that.
Okay, because if United decide to hold on to Onana by threatening him, some clubs actually do that, saying that if you go, that might be the end of your regular shirt in the club. Now, if United decides to hold on to the player against his will, they will be liable to being sanctioned by FIFA, which United wouldn't want to. So I'm sure that is why both parties are actually in discussion regarding this. But we'll keep our fingers crossed to know, of course, what actually will be the outcome of this. United have confirmed that they are in negotiation with the Feka Foods. Onana too, I'm sure. If you ask Onana deep down within him, I'm sure he will say that he wants to stay back at United because of what's actually, because he will tell you it's his future and United pays his bill. And of course, we will, like I said, we will keep our fingers crossed to see where this ends. We'll go on this break. When we return, we'll be talking about our star in diaspora for today. We told you earlier that we'll be going to Nigeria today. And who is this player that we'll be talking about? We'll talk about that on the flip side. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Africa, your number one shop log to all the details that you need regarding the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. Today is December 4th, 2023, and we have how many days? Just 7 days away. So by next Monday, of course, in the evening of next week Monday, CAF will be crowning the next best player on the continent, and Nigerians are they are so how will I put it now, optimistic. That is the word, optimistic, that likely it will be the turn of Victor Osimhen. It's been a while since we have a Nigerian winning that trophy. Okay, now let's talk about stars in the diaspora today. Actually, we'll be going to Nigeria, still Nigeria. And this player, Sadiq Umar, I'm sure you know he plays for Real Sociedad. He joined Real Sociedad from Almeria in the summer of 2022, but just 2 games into his career at Real Sociedad, he suffered a very, very nasty a cruciate ligament damage that knocked him out for 9 months. 9 months, he was knocked out of the whole season. And during the preseason, he had to grind his way back gradually into the team. And in the last 2 games, he has scored absolute scorcher for the La Liga team. Even at the beginning of the season, he wasn't getting a regular playing time. But I think with patience and hard work, the coach has seen that this guy, is actually ready to play. And back to back now, absolute scorcher, one of which is a contender for the Pushkas Award. James, this is Sadiq Umar we're talking about. Gradually, he's even been integrated back into the national team. Remember, all the while that he was injured, Coach Jose Pesero had to make do with other players available. But now, this guy is our star in the diaspora today because everyone is talking about it, particularly the goal he scored against Sevilla in the La Liga game. And after the game, Real Madrid legend Sergio Ramos had to send his jersey to him to say, guy, that goal was out of this world.
Yes, a good one for Sadiq Umar, and I also say shout out to the coach of Real Sociedad, because for a player who missed nine months,
9 months.
playing, and they still had that patience for him to come back and give him that confidence to get back into the team. I think it's just repaying their patience and confidence in him. Two world class goals in the space of how many days? I mean, so I think it's a good one for him. They know what they bought when they got him from Almeria. Somebody who was banging in the goals. Unfortunately, injury just cut short his. He started well in Real Sociedad before the injury now came up. So 2 goals now for him in the league, and it's now left for him to now build on this. Because it's one thing to have confidence in someone; it's another thing for that person to now repay that confidence, which luckily for him he's been able to do with the support he has been getting. It's top notch from the club, for his players, the coaches, and everybody in the rest of that. So just hopefully, I just hope that you just build on from this. Do not allow these 2 goals to just get into his head and feel relaxed. He has to keep working hard, because they paid a lot of money for him, and they believe that he's somebody that can take them far. That's why they brought him to the club. Fortunately, injury happened, and he's getting back to his fitness. And hopefully, he will bring this form to the Super Eagles, because he has not really done much for the Super Eagles. He's somebody that we had a lot of high hopes for when he played at the Rio 2016 Olympics in Brazil. He was Nigeria's top goal scorer, but since then he never really hit the ground running with the Super Eagles. So he has just been hit and miss in the Super Eagles. So hopefully we get his confidence back, and at least we have somebody who can fall back on when somebody like Osimhen is not around to play for the Super Eagles.
Okay, I remember one thing that Card always say. He always say that if you are an African and you are playing for a top club in Europe and you get selected every time, you are, worthy of being celebrated. And particularly for Sadiq Umar, 9 months out with a crucial ligament injury, and he's back banging in the goals, and that is why he is our star in diaspora today. And talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria, there is an unconfirmed report that they will be camping in the United Arab Emirates for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. And I also saw varying opinions online. Some were saying that some just ordinary Nigerians saying that they support the decision because it is to take the team away from the prying eye of the media and, of course, from all the distraction. Some said it is closer to the players who play in Europe, while someone actually said he thought the NFF was supposed to be broke. How would they be able to afford campaign about 25, 23 players in the United Arab Emirates? That's going to be a discussion for another day. So we'll keep our fingers. So as far as that is also concerned, to know where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be camping. Remember, reports say that they are owing Coach Jose Pesero and he's not been paid. So that is even one of the reasons why they said they couldn't afford to sack him, because they will have to pay him his outstanding, as well as, terminating his contract untimely. Let's go on this break, our final break on the show. When we return, we'll be coming back to review our big match of last weekend. We see you. All right, welcome back to the show, Still Sports Africa, and of course James Agberebi and I. Of course, we've been doing all the talking on the show today. Kado Gundare is of course not available. Now let's talk about the review of the big game over the weekend. It was before the game. It was actually the number 1 in the Ghana Premier League versus 7th who are out of Oak. James, that game ended 1-0 in favor of Edwana Stars. But that reminds us again. Remember, you and I, Kyle, they've talked about how the mighty has fallen regarding football in Ghana as of folk Ashanti Kotoko. They've fallen long down the pecking order, and of course that one went to Edwana Stars, and Edwana Stars, they consolidated the position on the 8 points ahead of Art of Folk now, who are also on the same point with Ashanti Kotoko on the Ghana Premier League. James, the result didn't come as a surprise to you, did it?
I told you last time that I think I said it's either Edwana win or the game will end in a draw. I can't recall, but I know that I said something like Edwana is not going to lose because, I mean, for a team who's been leading the pack for some time now, it's no accident, So, I mean, they show that they've come to stay. Last season, they were so unfortunate that they could not see the season out, but now they I think they've learned their lessons from last season and defeating Out of Folk, one of the biggest teams in Ghana, is a big statement. So they've gotten one of the big teams out of the way. So it's a good one. It goes to show the good advertisement for Ghanaian football that it's not all about Ashanti Kotoko and House of Folk. So other teams are coming up. Mediama, they are still on the continent. Ghana is doing really well in the league. This is the kind of thing we want to see, not just the two-horse race league. When other teams are coming, it goes to show that there are talent in the league. There are teams who have what it takes to challenge the order. That's what we are seeing. Last season we saw it. It's not by accident. We are seeing it again this season. So good one for Adwana. Then hopefully they were able to keep up this pace. Like I want a different name. Last season it was Medema, now Adwana. So let's have a change. And we saw it last season. Let's continue having this kind of thing. It brings the excitement in the league. It makes the league competitive. It gives other teams the opportunity, the chance that you can do it if you put your all in it. It's not always about an Ashanti Kotoko.
Okay, it's not been a fantastic season for Out of Folk because remember they sacked the Dutch coach earlier this season. After I think a number of about 6 games, he was sacked for poor strings of results. And of course, we also have Inso Treman in the Ghana Premier League breathing down the neck of Edwana Stars. Hopefully, Edwana Stars they will not blink this time because last season it was so close with Medema, and towards the end of the season, of course, they lost focus and they allowed Medema to just poach that one. Okay, I think something that has also been generating some form of discussion on social media is that James, before we leave, I quickly want you to comment on this. For FIFA, in the last 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, each qualifying teams got $2.5 million for qualification. At least everyone knew that. But someone was asking, how much does CAF give to each qualifying team for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier? I'm sure nobody knew. So it is part of what the transparency that we talk about when we want to make progress. But it seems sometimes we take one step forward and 10 step back because FIFA made the information available to everyone who cares to know. Now, this is a continental competition, and people are asking, how much? How much?
I mean, that's CAF for you. They always want to do their own thing and their own way, and they feel that it's the right way. So the less said, the better, because we keep on saying the same time. I mean, look at the new competition that was created, the African Super League.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that's similar to what they wanted to do in Europe, but after the criticism and everything, they had to put away the idea. But it's a competition that's started already in Africa. So that's, like I said, that's
$4 million is a lot of money. 4 million is a lot of money for any African club.
I want to believe that they gave participating teams money to for qualifying, but how much is it? Oh, we don't know. So since they said not to come out to talk about it, so let's leave it at that. And since that's the way they want to do run their show, because we even still struggling to even watch qualifiers right here in Africa. I want qualifiers. We cannot even confidently
AFCON qualifiers.
World Cup qualifiers. But we can watch that of Europe and other continents, but we cannot even watch our own here in Africa. And there's nothing that's been done about it. So that's, like I said, that's CAF for you. Just leave it at that.
But well, I think it's something we have to talk about another day because of time. Because every person who comes into CAF, to manage CAF, we find out that there are always peculiar problems to each of them. Under Ayatu, people thought it was bad administration, corruption. Then we had Ahmad, corruption. Then now we have Patrice Motsepe. People are complaining that across the continent, that Africa 2026 Africa World Cup qualifiers is not on television. So much issues to talk about. But of course, at the moment, our focus is on the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, how the 24 teams are preparing. And that is what we will be focusing on and bringing to you from this moment on. James Agberibi, thank you for your incisive analysis on the show today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, friend.
All right. So to our viewers around the world, our fans around the world, we appreciate you so much for keeping faith with Sports Africa. Please subscribe to this channel. We told you the Egyptian FA, of course, they've mentioned why they decided to turn down a friendly request from Nigeria, Cameroon, Sweden, South Africa, etc. And of course, we told you about Andre Onana is not the best of time for that young man off and on the pitch right now because he's torn between, loyalty to club and loyalty to nationality. But we'll keep our fingers crossed as far as these issues are concerned, and we'll be bringing them to you as soon as they break. I remain Ashalolu Afemi. Have a fantastic week ahead of you. Bye for now.